Here at Merry Meeples, we like looking at two-player games, for there's two of us that typically play the games. Well, Giraffe Games is coming out with a new two-player only game called Logic and Lore. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to show you how it plays, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts after this. Alright, so we have the game set up of Logic and Lore. I will give a couple of things really quick. The graphic design is not finalized, should be much better. The token numbering design is not finalized. The tokens are also planned to possibly have a letter on them, and the player tokens are intended to be dragons, not cats. So again, remember this is a prototype version, but I'm going to kind of explain the gameplay to you. There's two ways you can play this. There is the Starlight version and the Star Bright version. I'm going to go over the Starlight version first. So you will each have a player aid, and then there will be 4 questions you are going to ask. You're going to start by, you can move any of your face down cards in front of you without looking at them. Next, you can choose to reveal all of your cards. If they're in the right location, you win. If any of them are in the wrong location, you lose. Then you're going to start your 2 mandatory actions, which is choose focus. You're going to choose 2 cards, show them to your neighbor. You are then going to go down the 4 questions. When you get to a yes, you stop. The first one is, are they aligned? So is either card in the right position? They'll point to the one or both. If they are, you'll flip it face up, and then your turn will be, and then that phase will be over. Next, you can ask if they are neighbors. Are they sequential? So is this 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 7, so forth. You can ask if they're symmetrical. It basically does their sum equal 10, because 5 is the middle. So 4 plus 6 is 10, 7 and 3 is 10, 8 and 2 is 10, 9 is 1 is 10. And if all those are no, then you say which one's the greatest. In this prototype copy, you have these little tokens to signify that. So if, say, these 2 were neighbors, I would just drop those on there. These are different colors to denote that. If they are symmetrical, you have those. And then you have the ones that show this one is greater than that one. So again, those are some tokens that are planned. So let's see. Oh my gosh, I actually had them in the right spot. That's ridiculous. Oh, see, that one is symmetrical. All right, so you would go through, so you choose 2 of them, show them up, that's the first phase, and then search the sky as asking the questions. After that, you can then choose to move any of your face down ones again. And then the next person goes. You repeat this until someone reveals all their cards and loses in the Align the Stars phase, or until someone has all of their cards face up in the correct locations, and then they win. So that is Starlight. Star Bright, you have these cards flipped over, like so. Then each player has some tokens. And then there's a whole new set of questions and a whole new turn sequence. So you still start off by being able to move any of them, and then possibly revealing them all and winning. However, next is you're going to place one of your player tokens on one of the cards. So say I place mine on 4. Next, you're going to choose 2 of your face down cards. You reveal them, then ask questions using your player tokens. You're always going to ask 1, and you're always going to ask 9. However, you can ask any other question as long as your token is on there. So say you guys are going back and forth. They put one out, then I put one out, then there. Now all of them are full. Now what I can do is I can kick them off and take over. Still ends the same way once you have revealed all the cards in their correct location, or if they're not. So that is basic on how to play Logic and Lore. Kick it over to me to let you know some more thoughts I have on it. So there you have it. That is how you play Logic and Lore from Giraffe Games. So what are my thoughts? My thoughts are I enjoy this one. Typically, the bride and I are not fans of those deduction games where like you have a hand of cards and the cards are facing your opponent and they know what it is, then you have to try and randomly guess what they are. Because a lot of that is random, there's not much deduction, so we always veer away from those games. However, this game, even though you don't know what the cards are, by asking those questions, you can really deduce where things go, move them around, get all that really cool information going. And that is the part that I think that twist alone is what makes me like this game more than those other games, and why I'm willing to play this one a lot more. Still can't quite get Bri to play this one as much because she still isn't a fan of the deduction games. However, I do have an ally in this household, and that is the youth. I showed this to them, and they adored it. We played 3 games in a row, which is quite an accomplishment when it comes to them because they typically only play a game once, twice if we can really stretch it out if it's quick enough. But this one, 3 times. I did pull off 2 out of 3 victories because in the last one I just aligned the stars because I knew they were about to win. I hoped I had it right. I was pretty sure. And bam, I did it. And those are the cool moments that come from this game. You can have this long, drawn out, getting all the cards in the right order, or you can at one point just be like, you know what, I'm pretty sure I'm good, and just have that like, yeah moment where just you keep flipping over, and then you're good. Or if you hit that wrong card, like, no, off by 1 card. So it really does have some of those cool moments, even with it being a thinky deduction game. And then I like that if that basic version is too simple for you, flip them over. Now you got like a worker placement mechanic almost, where you can only do the things where your little workers are, and you're having to maneuver and be like, well, now that question isn't going to be that helpful, but this one is, so let me make sure I get ask this question. Then when your opponent kicks you off of that, well, now maybe I'll go somewhere else, and just trying to figure out the path that way. There is one extra level of difficulty I didn't cover in that teach, and that is black hole cards. Each deck comes with 3 of them, and you can put in as many as you want. Shuffle them up, lay out the cards, and then you have to try and get the black holes out of your numbers as well. So it adds that whole extra layer of deduction. So yes, in my opinion, Logic Lore is definitely one to check out. It would make a great game for you to take into the pub, to the bar, just out to dinner. Sleeve them up, have them over some drinks, have them over some snacks, and just be sitting there. It even got to the point where I was going to have asking questions. They flip them up. I'd be like, no, bigger, or no, symmetrical, which is really cool. But if you just get into that flow, then the game's going to play super quick. All right, so I was the groom for Merry Merry Meeples. Go ahead and please like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell for our channel. I would be much obliged to that. And if you could go ahead and check the links down below for podcast and Patreons and other P words. Until next time, bye-bye.